Chapter 8. Friday, another pep rally after school. We were playing John the Baptist High, so all over school, cheerleaders posted signs proclaiming, "Behead John the Baptist," or "Baptism by Fire," until Principal Meeks made old Carlos take them down. I didn't walk around campus either. It seemed wrong, with no prospect of running into David in trouble, so I was back to the computer lab. I didn't care what Mom said. The trailer they used for a computer lab was the only place I felt comfortable at Gate anymore. Its hollow floors thumped and echoed when you walked. That day, it was empty as usual. The stink of someone's lunch filled the air. Baloney. I signed in, turned on the light, chose a station away from the window. I still heard the shrieks and cheers through the walls. I logged onto AOL and scrolled up through the member-created rooms. I barely heard the door open. Whoever it was didn't stop to sign in. He walked, silent as a soldier, across the loud floors and took the station ahead of mine. I chose the Teen Truth or Dare room. I didn't look up. I didn't know anyone. I didn't want to know anyone.
Beep!
From the other computer. I kept typing.
Beep! Beep!
The aggravated sound of someone repeatedly pressing keys when the computer refuses to obey. A voice.
Ah, shit.
I looked up, surprised. It was Charlie Good.
Little help here?
He said. He'd abandoned his efforts. The room was silent, except the buzz of fluorescent lights.
I hear you're something of a computer aficionado.
Aficionado? Strange word. Charlie didn't even talk like other people.
It means someone who's a devotee of something. And a devotee means...
I'm okay at it. Charlie leaned his chair back, swung first one leg, then the other onto the table, rocking at a 90-degree angle to the floor.
Care to assist a friend?
With what? With his head, he indicated I should sit beside him, a high and mighty junior talking to a sophomore. His face said this was a privilege he was granting me. Then a raised eyebrow. Charlie's patience was wearing thin. After all, he'd invited me into his world. I should accept gratefully. I did. I stood, wearing my enthusiasm like a slogan on a sweatshirt. What are you doing?
Research paper. Guess I'm not enough of a computer geek to work this program.
For the next hour, I, Paul Richmond, sat beside Charlie Good and taught him to do computer research. A skeptic would say I did the research for him, but I wasn't a skeptic that day. If Charlie Good, for all his brilliance, couldn't formulate a query, pull up a search result, or print it out, I should help. Maybe Charlie would do something for me someday. For the moment, I'd settle for a compliment.
Go, Einstein,
he said when we finished. Thanks, trying not to look too pleased. I wanted to ask why he wasn't at the pep rally, but I didn't. It would be too strange. He read my thoughts.
I sent St. John and meat to some juvenile tribal rite. This place has too many pep rallies.
He leaned forward, smiling.
Besides, I want to talk to you.
Me? But I said, about what?
How do you like Gate?
I almost laughed. Fine.
Liar.
Charlie smiled.
You think we're all the same. Neanderthal jocks or rich brats. Probably think I'm both. Don't deny I'm right.
I said nothing.
But things aren't always as they seem. Someone smart as you should know that.
I didn't say.
You didn't have to. I don't blame you.
Charlie slammed his chair legs to the floor, his own feet following.
But you're wrong.
A roar from outside. The pep rally must have been ending. Wrong about...
You think I don't know you.
Charlie said.
There are some things about you I couldn't possibly understand. Secret things.
The outside noise had stopped, and there was just Charlie's voice and my breathing.
You think I don't know you jack off at night and wonder if you'll always be alone.
I tried not to let him know he was right. He continued.
You think I don't know that your parents split up last year, and since then, you tried to be a good son. But really, when your mother talks to you, it makes your skin crawl, and you feel like next time she touches you, pulls a hair out of her head, cries, you might just beat her brains in.
Part of me wanted to leave. It was weird, him knowing this stuff, creepy, like he'd been watching me, but my eyes felt frozen to him. How do you...
Am I wrong?
I shook my head. He gestured toward the racket at his feet.
Know why I play tennis?
Stupid question. He was a star at tennis.
I play tennis because Charles Sr., my father, because Big Chuck never made the pros, so I have to. He's been teaching me since before I could walk.
That's nice.
Is it?
Like it was the first he'd considered it.
Guess so. Guess it's nice when someone gives you responsibility for his hopes and dreams without your permission. And it's wonderful to get out each afternoon, whether blazing sun or driving rain, and have him hit some balls at me like I'm some demented golden retriever. Is it father-son bonding or indentured servitude?
He sucked his lip.
I know what Big Chuck would say. What would you say?
I stared at the comment on the screensaver. I'd screwed up, but I didn't know how. Why are you asking me this? He looked away.
Sorry, I shouldn't have. Just thought maybe you'd understand.
He closed his notebook, reaching for the racket.
Guess I was wrong.
No! I restrained myself from physically stopping him. No, I do understand. And I did. I knew everything there was to know about trying to meet parents' impossible expectations. But... He smiled, whirling the racket's grip between his knees. Why are you talking to me? I fidgeted. I mean, people aren't knocking themselves over to be my friends.
I just told you why.
Oh. I guess I hadn't heard him.
We're going to be friends, Paul. That's my point. That's what I wanted to talk about.
He met my eyes.
We're too much alike not to be friends.
I stared at him and he nodded. He stood, gathered his books, the racket, and started for the door.
Go on, Paul. Your mom's waiting.
Had I offended him? I wasn't sure.
She always leaves at 4:15, doesn't she? It's about that now.
He gestured toward the clock, 20 after.
See you tomorrow, Paul. Before, maybe I'll stop by.
You know where I live?
I told you, I know everything.
And without saying goodbye, he left. By the time I reached the exit, there was only Mom staring at me, all worried. But today, for once, I didn't care.